So over the last 2 years, I have been only researching sustainability. So I've seen thousands of patients who have lost up to 25 kgs of weight and then gone on to gain it back over a year or two. And even the American Weight Watchers Association has researched 2 lakh patients over 10 years and seen consistent weight regain. So today we'll talk about one of the main causes of obesity and weight regain after a weight loss program. So we'll talk about what people deploy first to lose weight. Most people love talking about a calorie deficit. Now we all know that the average obese person has a metabolic rate about 3000 calories per day, and they tend to go on a deficit where they decrease somewhere between 2,500 and they go below somewhere close to about 1,000 calorie deficits, and then in about 6 months time they lose anything between 10 to 25 kgs of weight. Now why does this not sustain? It's very simple, that along with the calorie deficit, what they also do is they go on a nutrient deficit. Now what does this mean? Now which nutrition are we talking about? The body's essential organs run from the nerves to everything requires, yes, along with glucose, but we also require what I call the A, B, C, D, E. Now these are basically vitamins. Along with this we have the M, magnesium, N, which is basically sodium, O, which is omega-3, omega-6, P, which is also phosphorus but largely protein. So we need these 5 as well as these 4. Now the tragedy of these nutrients is we don't have more than 3 to 5 days of storage in the body. Now since we can't store this for very long, what happens is we keep running on reserve. Now the average obese patient that I see in the clinic, they are close to 140 kgs of weight. But when you see their vitamin D, calcium levels as well as with vitamin B, so B12 typically should be above 500 minimum. They are in the range of 150 to 200. If you take vitamin D, again it should be in the range of 80. This should be above 500. This should be above at least 50. They are all in the range of 12 to 20. Now when you have this kind of nutrient deficit, how are they making up these nutrients? They make up basically B12, of course, is very difficult for vegetarians, but if you just take B, most of it comes from carbs, which is wheat and rice. If you take D mostly comes from dairy. Neither of these are unhealthy, but again, you remember the key dosage is poison. When you start consuming these in a dosage well above what your body can afford to have, that is where the weight gain starts. So my term for this is leakage. So this is a leakage of nothing but calories. Now how are we going to compensate this? By putting him on a further calorie deficit first, or are we going to first top up the nutrients? So the way to do this is to create what I call the nutrient surplus first. So a nutrient surplus, first step is to flush the body using fiber. So your gut gets completely cleaned up, the acidic bacteria are gone. Along with that, you neutralize the pH. So once you've done that, along with what smoothies that we give, which is also nutrient dense, we give the flush, which is basically a flood of micronutrients. Once these two are done, the body is comfortably prepared now for a calorie deficit. I've seen thousands of patients comfortably, once they comfortably go on a nutrient dense program, they then shift to a calorie deficit comfortably. Now, once this goes on for say a few months, we have to repeat this cycle. This cycle has to be done in my mind, every 3 months. The problem is we don't repeat this. All obese patients, what they do after the first phase, once they've lost weight, they start exercise. Exercise is the most demanding discipline as far as micronutrients are concerned. So this causes a further deficit. So when you take exercise plus food to control the volume, we have to increase the micronutrient dosage. So my suggestion to all people who are again and again facing weight regain, focus on your micronutrient levels, starting with B12, D3, but don't forget the magic abbreviation or short form that I have written, which is A, B, C, D, E, which are all multivitamins. Typically A, B, C come from one, D comes a little in a different sachet, so does E, and then you have M, N, O and P. So you must have individual weekly top-ups. Protein of course can be had daily, but these three can be at least weekly, or if not alternate day. This must be every day if you're working out. So again, go to your physicians and get these prescribed to you, but start them to maintain your weight loss. Hope this is clear.